And so to the day's stage, no more rest, back to the action. Qatar to Nouakchott, a total of 508 kilometers, a short liaison of 34, followed by a big special, 437. It looked uncomplicated. It turned out to be just that for some. Welcome to the Dakar, stage 11. I'm Carlton Kirby. Well, Hiroshi Matsuoka was gunning for the horizon, as was Jean-Louis Schlesser, and a good early pace from the pair of them. But Matsuoka was to get himself lost, Schlesser also, and just avoiding some head-on collisions, as you can see. Well, slightly low on the left-hand side. He had his troubles with suspension, we believed. By the time he finally passed Jean-Pierre Fontenay coming in the other direction, Schlesser knew that something was terribly wrong, and perhaps Matsuoka was not the man to follow. Fontenay himself stopped to check things out, realized that he was okay, and continued on his way. Meanwhile, Schlesser was still in the wilderness. So navigation problems there were for just about everybody. Not though Jose Maria Servia in the other Schlesser buggy and enjoying himself. The locals getting on with life as the cars sped past. Hiroshi Matsuoka took a wrong GPS reading apparently, set his course badly right from the start, and after around 30 or 40 kilometers he was way off. So Matsuoka, he's got one of the cleanest looking cars, but today he'd have swapped for a few knocks and bruises just to be on the right track. Jose Maria Servia certainly was. He won stage 11, 5th overall, attacked hard in the morning. And by control point 2 was already 15 minutes, 14 seconds ahead of Jutta Kleinschmidt. Well, the Mauritanian people, a noble race in their familiar blues, which we've seen so often on this Dakar. Welcoming indeed, and indeed cheering on Jutta Kleinschmidt, as you might expect. The German Mitsubishi lady, very angry about the penalties. Half an hour, of course, for deviating on stage 9. Jean-Louis Schlesser it was that pointed it out and forced those sanctions through. Well, Kleinschmidt was heading for second on this stage, but all importantly was the gap between herself and Schlesser. He came home 10th, 56 minutes off the pace. Kleinschmidt may have been 19 down, but was absolutely delighted with her performance, finishing behind Servia. Also in the frame, Enrad and his crazy buggy. Stefan Enrad's put a VW diesel T3. Great torque, mid-engine, and today it really paid off. Nobody was going to come fast through this stage, and the balance of his self-designed car really proved to be right. 3rd place today for Stefan Enrad, 8th overall now, and one of the oddest looking machines really came to the fore in today's conditions. Carlos Souza in the open-backed pickup Mitsu, 5th today, 3rd overall. Yes, Kleinschmidt up to 2nd place, and really chuffed with it, as you will see a little later on when we speak to him. Delavan stopping to clear camel grass from the radiator. Doesn't seem to be much grass around, but what is very brittle. It shatters on impact with the bumpers, goes straight through the open grille and mashes itself into the radiator. Overheating problems there were for many. Delavan sorting himself out with a little bit of air gun. Gregoire Demarius with his cracked and damaged screen, repaired with carbon fibre. Others are continuing with no screen at all. Just a couple of rocks thrown up, especially in midfield. And of course, the damage happens all too regularly. Jiro Shinazuka hoping for miracles. 22nd overall, but 8th today. A good run for him. He hasn't been blessed in the first parts of this Dakar rally. Philip Van Berg in the Ford Ranger. In front of Bruno Sabi. Van Berg is the number 2 Ford in this team. And he had to get out of the way. He says, yes, this is Van Berg on board. Great car for the Dakar, I'm very happy with it. But I have to let Bruno Sabi overtake me. It's been decided, not by me. And he says, after a long career, I find this very difficult indeed. Through you go, my friend. No race car driver likes to do that. He says it's very hard on me. And indeed, by the end of the day, the difference between the two was very small indeed. But helping the others in a team game is what you have to do. Sabi then waved through, and off he went. And as you can see, lack of a windscreen. Already gone. Full face helmets. The order of the day. Gianni Lotta Lamia. Italian team. Chasing Henri Pascarolo. Former Le Mans winner, of course. And endurance. One of the characteristics that is oh so important on this rally. Here are the Italians in one of the best designed cars, certainly as far as paint jobs are concerned. Well, dust very bad today, says Laura Lamia, and the dunes very soft in some places, very hard and smooth in others. But bad news as well for him. Di Persio, his co-driver. He said he ate something dodgy for breakfast this morning, and it's not agreeing with me at all. For this to happen, he says, in the heat is not very good for me. I'm just trying to cope with it. As you can see, he's holding onto the door frame. Grim death. The expression on the face of Laura Lamia tells its own story. Change of chef and perhaps a change of trousers by the end. Less said about that, the better. And so to the results from the cars today. Servia taking it ahead of Kleinschmidt, who was 19 minutes and 22 seconds off Servia's pace. Enrad in his VW buggy, third ahead of Fontenay, then Souza. Schlesser down in 10th place. It means that Kleinschmidt is back into second place, and crucially, she's only 12 minutes behind Matsuoka, who also had a nightmare getting lost along with Schlesser. Well, Jean-Marie Lecoin, co-driver of Servia, said you had to choose. It's a navigational stage, and if you were on the rolling terrain, it was easy. He said, we were very lucky indeed. Well, he picked a good route, as did Jutta Kleinschmidt. I'm very happy, she said, because I know that Schlesser has been lost for more than 30 minutes. That was the penalty I had to sustain. It's a good revenge for us, he said, because of his attitude over the last few days, with the penalties we suffered because of that man. Would you believe they used to drive together way back in '93? She was Schlesser's co-driver. This is Schlesser. And he said, bad day. Suspension broke at the control point, and we were with Matsuoka, and then we decided to follow him. But we made a big mistake doing that. We did around 50 to 60 kilometers extra today, made a huge U-turn on our tracks, and the result, of course, is a big, big loss of time. Almost an hour down on his teammate Servia, who won today's stage, but crucially, fading once again down the standings. And you can see just how confusing it was. Schlesser was not about to turn around at this point, though. Thierry de Malaverne says today, very hot special. Very hot here in Mauritania, suffered some problems of high engine temperatures. Difficult day for the car, and of course for us. There was a lot of navigation to do at the same time. And we had to deal with that engine temperature all the time, easing off just to try and get it down. Everybody had the same problem. Car, though, was going well. Very hot day, though. causing its own difficulties, misfiring and such like. And on the other hand, Jackie did once again a brilliant navigation for me. And now I can say it because he isn't next to me, so I won't embarrass him. Our time, good one, fifth in this stage, and I think it's good for the Dakar as well. Still a long way to go. A lot of things can happen. We need to take care of our car. We need to do fast stages. So this stage, okay for us. And today, no major problems, thank goodness, despite those very high running temperatures of the engine. A happy man at the end of what's been a grueling day. Stay with us after the break. The magnificent Peggy Lundmark on the motorcycles.
New world, new Pajero.
What Euromaster does for each driver on the Paris-Dakar Rally, Euromaster does for each driver every day of the year in its service centres. Euromaster. What drives us is you. Tyres, exhausts, brakes, shocks, batteries, oil. Euromaster.
Off the coast of